This page is the front cover, featuring striking artwork of two anime-style characters, one seated and supporting the other who rests on her lap. The cover prominently displays the magazine title, Saturn Fan, and highlights key upcoming and recently released games. Major features include detailed reports on Sakura Wars and Tokimeki Memorial, along with Dukyusei and Knights. There's an in-depth look at Dragon Knight and Enemy Zero. The magazine also covers fighting games like King of Fighters 96 and Street Fighter Alpha 2, plus others such as Virtua Cop 2, Jinga Ojosama Densetsu Yuna, and Fighting Vipers. A section is dedicated to interesting RPGs, featuring Lunar, Albert Odyssey 2i, Legend of Ogre Battle, Sword and Sorcery, and Wizardry titles. The cover announces exclusive scoops and emphasizes its status as the only bi-weekly magazine dedicated to the Sega Saturn. This issue is number 15 from 1996, dated July 19th. This page is dedicated to the upcoming release of Virtua Fighter Kids on the Sega Saturn. Prominently featuring the game's colorful Kids logo constructed from playful blocks, the page announces the release date of July 26th for 5,800 yen, categorizing it as a fighting action game. The left side details key features, including the Combo Creator mode, allowing players to practice and refine techniques, and the accessible Kids mode, designed to help newcomers easily execute optimal moves. The right side features a playful tagline, "Excuse me for going first," alongside a large screenshot of the game in action. Below the screen, chibi versions of characters, appearing to be Akira and Cage, are shown watching the game intently, surrounded by a Sega Saturn console and several game cases, emphasizing the home console experience of this charming Virtua Fighter spin-off. This page showcases the Victor V Saturn console, described as a revitalized model with a smart phantom gray body, offering dramatic evolution and high-performance specs. It highlights the system's colorful operation and its ability to play video CD and photo CD when the twin operator accessory is attached. For MPEG-compatible games, the twin operator enhances video scenes for greater clarity. The page also features the game Wangan Dead Heat plus Real Arrange, a racing title compatible with the twin operator. This version is noted for collaborating with 5 popular gravure idols, who appear as assistants in the game. The game emphasizes realistic drift driving, aiming to reproduce the physics of tire grip and road surface friction. Screenshots show intense street racing action. The twin operator is presented as the key to unlocking enhanced graphics and multimedia features for both the console and specific games. The page presents the V Saturn and twin operator as an exciting combination, especially for enjoying games like Wangan Dead Heat plus Real Arrange, with its unique idol collaboration and focus on realistic racing mechanics, all enhanced by the twin operator's capabilities. This page features a prominent advertisement for the Sega Saturn release of Real Bout Fatal Fury. The main image showcases Geese Howard seated authoritatively, with another figure standing behind him, emphasizing the game's focus on his final battle as the latest entry in the Fatal Fury series. Screenshots at the bottom provide a glimpse into the intense fighting gameplay. The game's release date and price are currently listed as undetermined. The right side of the page is a distinct section, labeled GW News, indicating a special news update inserted into the magazine's content, likely related to the Golden Week period. This page announces the exciting contents lined up for the second issue, dropping on July 5th. As part of the GW News update, displayed on a cool retro TV, the issue is packed with diverse features. The main draws include new installments of the serial games, the thriller Blue Water, featuring live-action sequences, and the comedic 3D puzzle adventure, Pipit Boys Great Adventure 2. Fans of Sega Saturn are in for a treat with the Sega Saturn Masterpiece Collection, highlighting Taito's classic vertically scrolling shooter, Layer Section, known internationally as Galactic Attack, or Rayforce. A major focus is the highly anticipated Saturn exclusive, Nights into Dreams, set for a July release, with an in-depth information section. Beyond games, the issue offers interactive advertising games like Telecom Town 2 and Cinderella Cruising, a digital gallery showcasing user art, information on music featuring an interview with Eximo's Harumi Hosono discussing 21st Century tunes, a preview of the Gamera 2 movie, and a shopping guide covering popular items like Evangelion goods and other game-related merchandise. It's a comprehensive look at what the next issue brings. This page brings more GW News updates, first announcing Legend of Sarah Part 1, a new digital comic featuring the Virtua Fighter character Sarah Bryant, delivered right to your screen. Following that, There's information about the Gameware Cadram magazine, confirming that Volume 2 is currently available, and Volume 3 is scheduled for release on October 5th. The right side features advertisements for upcoming Sega Saturn titles. One ad is for Tournament Leader, a golf game highlighting easy controls and various game modes. Another is for Kaio Flying Squadron, Activating Volume, featuring series characters like Rami Nanakusa, and promoting an ongoing sales campaign with special giveaways. The next page is a full-page advertisement for Konami's interactive cinema adventure game, Policenauts, on the Sega Saturn. Prominently displayed is the game's title in large English letters, along with the announcement of virtual gun support. The ad touts this Saturn release as the final form, positioning it as the superior version ported from the PC 98, 3DO, and PlayStation. Key features highlighted include the virtual gun compatibility, exclusive added movies and cuts not seen on other platforms, and a unique Saturn-only shooting mode. Players can also directly access a glossary from within the game. The ad lists several first-press bonus items and a campaign offering a chance to win a special Policenauts jacket. The visuals feature the game's protagonist, Jonathan Ingram, alongside his partner Ed Brown, set against a futuristic backdrop, with small screenshots showcasing some of the anime-style scenes from the game. The release date is listed as September 13th, with a price of 6,800 yen. This page features a Konami showcase for the Sega Saturn, highlighting several of their popular titles. On the left, the main focus is on Tokimeki Memorial, Forever With You, a highly acclaimed dating simulation game. It introduces the concept of high school life and meeting girls, with a release date of July 19th for both standard and deluxe editions. There's also a companion official guide releasing on July 26th. The right side presents Konami's popular software lineup for the Saturn. This includes games like Snatcher, Gradius Deluxe Pack, and Policenauts, alongside Tokimeki Memorial Tyson Puzzle Dama, a puzzle game featuring the characters from the dating sim. There's also a campaign promoting the Get the Saturn Soft scratch card event, offering chances to win Konami Saturn software or merchandise. This page serves as the vibrant cover feature, dominated by eye-catching artwork for Aero Fighter's special, known as Sonic Wings Special in Japan. The image prominently displays the game's title alongside its diverse cast of characters, including pilots, ninjas, and various quirky individuals. The page highlights that this Sega Saturn release aims to push the boundaries of the shooting genre with new life. Key features mentioned include selectable vertical or horizontal screen modes, a time attack mode, and a massive number of endings. A significant bonus for the Saturn version is the inclusion of an 8 cm single CD by Super Idol Mao Aoi, with a lottery for 1,000 winners to receive an original mug cup. The page also presents the magazine's table of contents and a game index. The contents list teases exciting features like a super top scoop on Dragon Knight Remake and Enemy Zero, a Sega power-up report covering games like Sakura Wars and Virtua Fighter Kids, and an RPG Big Six collection featuring titles such as Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Shining Wisdom. Strategy guides are also listed, including one for the highly anticipated Nights into Dreams and Aero Fighters special. The game index provides a comprehensive list of titles covered throughout the issue. This release was set for July 5th, priced at 7,800 yen. This page features a super top exclusive scoop on the Sega Saturn version of Dragon Knight, a highly anticipated release from Elf. It highlights the game's heroine, showcasing 2 beautiful illustrations. The page includes an interview with Elf's president, who confirms that the protagonist is Yamato Takeru, just like the PC version, but clarifies that the story and characters appearing in the Saturn game are completely new. He describes the planned heroine as very kind and cute. The interview also touches on the game's target age rating, noting it's recommended for ages 18 and up, consistent with Elf's reputation, although the president jokes about the specific adult content. A small table provides basic information, confirming a spring 1997 release window, a 3D RPG genre, and reveals the game is still very early in development, only 5% complete as of late June. This scoop provides a glimpse into the direction Elf is taking with this new Saturn title, aiming to satisfy fans while potentially pushing the boundaries allowed on the platform. This page offers a super top scoop, continuing the look at Elf's upcoming Dragon Knight title by revealing more new characters. It features illustrations of a distinct male character, who the magazine staff speculates might be a rival, and a glamorous, voluptuous female character. Another illustration shows a woman in elaborate attire, suggested to be a princess. The article highlights that the game will feature a total of 15 main characters. The page also announces the results of a fan survey, on which Elf Games readers want ported. Dokusei 2 overwhelmingly topped the list, followed surprisingly strongly by the unreleased Shimokusei, demonstrating significant anticipation for both titles. Other popular Elf games like Isaku and Dragon Knight IV also ranked highly, indicating a strong fanbase eager for more ports. The article includes character illustrations from Dokusei and Shimokusei, alongside the new Dragon Knight reveals. This page dives deep into Warp's highly anticipated title, Enemy Zero. The big news is the reveal of new movie footage, specifically focusing on the character Laura. Beyond the visuals, the article puts a significant spotlight on the game's ambitious sound design, describing it as going beyond conventional game audio. There's an interview with Warp president Kenji Ino, confirming that the legendary composer Michael Nyman, known for his work on films like The Piano, is handling the music, and BGM recording is set to begin soon. Screenshots show glimpses of the game's environments and Laura in action. Adding another layer of excitement, there's a surprising scoop hinting at a future project from Warp, tentatively titled Real Sound. This seems to be an unprecedented adventure game, where the experience relies entirely on sound, with no visuals whatsoever. It sounds incredibly innovative, and aligns with Warp's reputation for pushing boundaries. The article also mentions that Enemy Zero is scheduled to be showcased at the Tokyo Game Show, giving players a chance to potentially experience this sound-focused horror adventure firsthand. This page is dedicated to the Sega Saturn port of the classic dating simulation game, Dokusei If. It highlights the significant enhancements made for this version compared to its predecessors on PC and PC Engine. The review notes the challenging time management system, emphasizing that meeting the various girls depends heavily on navigating the game's strict time flow. Graphics are praised as super beautiful, significantly upgraded from earlier versions, particularly for event scenes and character portraits during daily interactions. The page also details the expansion of the game's story, with numerous additional scenarios and new characters added to the Saturn version, promising a richer and more engaging love story experience. The inclusion of new events, like the heated confrontation shown, suggests substantial new content. A small data box lists basic game information, such as release date, price, and genre, adventure, reinforcing the details discussed in the main text. Overall, the page makes it clear that this isn't just a simple port, but a definitive version of the game, with substantial improvements in visuals and content. This page continues the deep dive into the Dokusei If experience on the Sega Saturn, specifically focusing on the potential romantic interests and key locations you'll encounter. It kicks off with the protagonist, Takuya, offering insights into the many girls you can meet during the summer. Featured here are introductions to 3 distinct characters: Kurumi Sayonji, shown in various scenes including by the water, Miho Suzuki, highlighted with scenes related to the movie theater, and Misaki Tanaka, depicted in energetic poses. The text gives a glimpse into their personalities and relationships with Takuya, hinting at the types of interactions you can expect. Crucially, the page includes Takuya-sama's one-point advice, emphasizing the importance of exploring the town thoroughly. This section showcases several vital in-game locations, like Sakuragai and Yabuki stations, the Otimtim Coffee House, the Cat's Eye Cafe, various parks, a hospital, and the movie theater. Exploring these areas is presented as key to triggering events and meeting the game's heroines. It's clear that navigating the game world is as central to finding romance as the conversations themselves. This page continues the exploration of the characters you'll meet in Dokusei If, expanding on the potential romantic interests and introducing key supporting cast members. It features detailed profiles for several prominent female characters. Reiko Shinji is introduced with her elegant appearance and the setting of your initial encounter. Hiromi Tamachi is presented, highlighting her youthful appearance and the context of meeting her, likely through school or work connections. Midori Takano is also profiled, a girl encountered during the summer break, noted for her somewhat timid reactions. The Takuya's one-point advice section returns, emphasizing that the town is filled with potential encounters. It introduces several more female characters you can meet, including Masami Hataba, Kyoko Sakuragi, Mai Hataba, Yoriko Katagiri, Satomi Kurokawa, and Yayoi Kusabane, showcasing the breadth of potential relationships. The page concludes by introducing 2 male characters, Taro Mon and Kenji Ibara, who serve as supporting figures within the game's narrative. The overall message is clear: explore the world, interact with everyone you meet, and you'll discover the many paths to romance available in the game. This page introduces the dating simulation game Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You, highlighting its high school setting and gameplay focused on improving skills, participating in school events, and finding romance. The game simulates 3 years of high school life, featuring events like sports festivals, term end tests, cultural festivals, and school trips, all designed to help players deepen relationships with various female characters. The importance of joining clubs and balancing academic and athletic pursuits is also emphasized. Screenshots showcase typical school scenes, character interactions, stat management, and even an unexpected combat sequence against a boss character, hinting at the game's unique blend of simulation and other elements. The page conveys the core appeal of the game as a comprehensive and engaging high school experience centered around achieving graduation and finding love. This page delves into core mechanics of Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You, focusing on dating, character appearance, and managing relationships. Dating is a central element, initiated by calling girls and getting their contact information. Dates are presented as simple adventure segments, where your responses to the girl's actions and feelings are crucial, often presenting 3 options. Unexpected events can occur during these outings, adding variety. The game features changing character fashion, with outfits varying by season and occasion, including special seasonal clothing, and even different swimsuits over the game's 3-year span. A notable visual element is the variety of outfits shown for the main heroine, Hazuki Shiori, across different seasons and years, and special event dresses. A critical relationship mechanic is the bomb system, indicated by an icon next to a girl's name. This signifies negative rumors spreading due to neglect, causing jealousy, and potentially damaging relationships with multiple characters. Discovering a bomb often happens when calling a girl and hearing gossip. The primary way to resolve the bomb status is to go on a date with the neglected girl, which improves her mood and removes the rumor. Finally, the game features numerous date locations that players must discover through exploration or by consulting in-game magazines and other sources. Screenshots illustrate various date scenes, character interactions, and the interface for managing calls and accessing information about date spots. This article examines key features of Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You, happenings, unexpected events like accidental encounters, add humor, and unique situations to gameplay. These scenes, initially from the PlayStation version, are highlighted. The Tokimeki state represents the highest affection level, unlocking special events and a final confession. The article details the different affection stages, emphasizing the exclusivity of many events within the Tokimeki state. Finally, the piece introduces Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Puzzle Dama, a competitive puzzle game featuring characters from the main game. Players battle heroines in puzzle duels to win their affection. This version includes added features compared to the arcade release. This page dives into Street Fighter Alpha 2, highlighted as a reader's requested feature. It's the 3rd time the game has been featured, and this article focuses on explaining the changes to the game system compared to the original Street Fighter Alpha, aiming to help new players understand the differences. The article goes over several key updates. First, the chain combo system has been removed, changing the nature of offensive pressure. In its place, the zero counter, alpha counter, system has been revamped, offering more defensive options depending on the character and situation. A major addition is the original combo system, allowing players to chain special moves and supers together for powerful combinations. Screenshots illustrate how this system looks when activated. The page also details changes to Auto Guard, which now has unlimited uses but drains health even when guarding normal attacks. Finally, different recovery options after being knocked down are introduced, adding strategic depth to managing offensive pressure. The article showcases various screenshots of characters like Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Sakura, Dan, and others, demonstrating these new mechanics in action. This page continues the deep dive into Street Fighter Alpha 2, this time focusing on elements the magazine's editorial team hoped would be included in the Sega Saturn port and a detailed look at the new character, Sakura Kasugano. The wishlist for the Saturn version includes more granular key configuration options for better control customization, an enhanced dramatic battle mode allowing more varied team UPS, and crucially, the inclusion of the hidden characters from the international arcade release, such as Akuma and the classic Street Fighter, 2 versions of Ryu, Ken, Dalsim, and Zangief. There's a dedicated section breaking down how to play as Sakura. It covers her special moves like her version of the Hadoken, her spinning kick, Shunpukyaku, and her rising uppercut, Shuken, offering tips on their best uses. It also touches on basic original combos for her and advice on when to use her different normal throws. The page also briefly discusses a results screen mode that assesses player performance and includes a short queue and a SEA, with Capcom confirming they consider user feedback for console ports and are still evaluating additions for the Saturn version. The page is filled with screenshots showing gameplay, including Sakura in action, and characters like Akuma and the SF2-era fighters desired for the home release. This page dives into the highly anticipated mix of adventure and strategy RPG, Sakura Taisen. The focus is on the crucial trust level system between the protagonist, Ichiro Ogami, and the female members of the Imperial Combat Review. The article explains that player choices and actions during the adventure sequences directly impact the character's trust levels, which in turn affects their performance in the tactical battles. Screenshots illustrate how higher trust levels lead to improved character and mech stats, better graphical displays for special moves, and potentially more critical hits. The comparison shots clearly show the statistical boosts achieved when trust is high, compared to normal. The page also features the first entry in a heroine file, highlighting Sumire Kanzaki and showcasing her powerful special move, the Kanzaki-style butterfly dance. This system of building relationships and seeing the direct combat benefits appears to be a central and unique mechanic of the game. The next page delves deeper into the intricacies of building relationships in Sakura Wars, specifically explaining how the crucial trust level system fluctuates. It covers situations in both the battle and daily life segments of the game. In battle, trust can change based on your actions. Utilizing Ogami's unique cover ability to shield allies from attacks is a sure way to boost their trust in you. Conversely, failing to protect a unit, leading to their destruction, results in a significant drop in their trust level, highlighting the importance of tactical awareness and protecting your teammates. Quick and correct judgments during critical battle moments also play a role in affecting trust. During the daily life sections, trust is constantly shifting. The interactive lips dialogue system is a primary driver of these changes, with different choices yielding varying results. Visiting characters' rooms during free time can also influence trust, though there are considerations for privacy. Paying attention to characters' moods and responding to their requests are other key ways to build or diminish rapport. The page even teases the possibility of love scenes appearing in the latter half of the game, strongly implying that high trust levels will lead to more intimate story developments with the heroines. This comprehensive relationship system adds significant depth beyond just combat. This page shifts focus from building relationships to the enemy forces threatening Tokyo in Sakura Wars. It introduces the primary antagonistic group, the Black Nest Society, detailing their goal to dismantle Western influence and restore the old shogunate. The page highlights their formidable leader, Tenkai, described as a powerful, ancient monster who commands numerous other creatures. Crucially, it introduces the 4 heavenly kings, who serve as key bosses the player will face: Genma, Rasetsu, Setsuna, and Miroku. Each is briefly profiled with striking character art and a quote, hinting at their personalities and combat styles. Genma, a brutal close-quarters fighter. Rasetsu, an intimidating figure of immense power. Setsuna, seemingly swift and agile. And Miroku, with a distinctive crimson presence. Furthermore, the page explains the standard enemy units, the demon manipulator soldiers, powered by demonic energy and driven by spiritual force. These units come in 3 distinct types, specialized for close, mid, or long-range combat, forming the bulk of the challenges the Imperial Combat Review must overcome. The bosses, powered by the 4 heavenly kings, are noted as significantly more powerful than these regular units. This page is all about the upcoming Sega Saturn port of the arcade fighter, Fighting Vipers, featured under the Sega Power-Up Report. 2 banners. The striking main artwork declares, "These guys' fangs have poison," setting the tone for the intense combat. A page provides a development update, confirming steady progress with continuous reporting. Key elements like fixed techniques and background ports are advancing well. The player's select screen is showcased, featuring Bonds and his stats, noted as a perfect transplantation from the arcade. Versus screens with Tokyo, Honey, Jane, and Sandman also appear, confirming the complete character roster and successful porting of the Versus display. A significant highlight is the section revealing all characters' victory poses, and armor-breaking states. Numerous screenshots fill the right side of the page, displaying characters post-win or in their signature armorless looks mid-fight. The report praises the successful porting of arcade elements, including the round calls and sound effects, destructible armor and walls, and the core gameplay feel, all aiming for accuracy to the arcade original. The visual quality of the ported backgrounds is also mentioned as something to observe in the screenshots. The overall tone is one of anticipation for a high-quality arcade port. This page dives deeper into fighting Vipers for the Sega Saturn, showcasing the game's dynamic actions and system mechanics through sequential screenshots. It reveals specific character moves like Bond's pelvic bone splitter and Bond Flash, Raxel's death cannon, and Picky's fork through, highlighting their visual flair and effectiveness. The report also details key gameplay systems: short replay, which offers instant replays of armor-breaking moments; guard and attack, a crucial technique allowing players to counter immediately after blocking; and Ukemi, enabling mid-air recovery and counterattacks after being launched. An interview snippet with Mr. Kataoka provides insight into the Saturn port's development progress, mentioning ongoing work on a practice mode, considerations for a version 1.1, the status of hidden character Mauler, and the near completion of several stages, including the Western and City stages. The page emphasizes the accurate porting of arcade features and the importance of mastering these new systems for competitive play. This page features Virtua Fighter Kids on the Sega Saturn, highlighting its charming Chibi-style characters and announcing its near completion. The report covers the game's transition from arcade to home console and its development progress. It breaks down the game's 8 modes: arcade mode and versus mode for battling the CPU or other players, ranking mode where players climb through ranks up to 15 based on performance, combo mode allowing players to create and save custom combos, spectator mode to watch CPU battles, record mode for reviewing battle stats and character usage, options for customizing game settings, and random mode for unpredictable matches. The page also shows sequences from the game's opening movie, featuring Virtua Fighter, 2 characters like Lao and Lion performing various moves, showcasing the presentation style. The focus is clearly on the fun, accessible, yet feature-rich experience offered by this unique take on the Virtua Fighter series. This page dives deeper into the charmingly fierce world of Virtua Fighter Kids, focusing on the characters and how their unique designs impact gameplay. The oversized heads aren't just cute, they allow for expressive animations showing a full range of emotions during battles. The altered character proportions aren't just cosmetic either, they change the fighting mechanics. Characters generally have shorter reach, encouraging different strategies, and performing air combos is notably easier than in the standard Virtua Fighter titles. The page highlights several key fighters. Akira maintains his powerful fighting style despite the chibi look. Jack Misi, portrayed as the older brother, gains unique victory animations and powerful moves like a dangerous somersault. Jeffrey's signature techniques are adjusted, but still potent, and he has humorous poses. Cage is described as faster, possibly due to his smaller size, and his high voice is highlighted. Adding flair to the fights are cool short replays of special moves shown from multiple angles, and exhilarating finish moves where opponents are launched dramatically. The game also includes bonus features, like a sound room to enjoy the music and see characters performing, and a record mode to track your battle statistics. Sequences from Akira's character movie are also previewed. This page continues exploring the cast of Virtua Fighter Kids, detailing how their fighting styles translate into this super deformed world. We see LeFou still brings his formidable power, despite the new look, capable of his signature floating moves and powerful finishers. Pei retains her agility, with the change in proportions making air combos feel even more natural, though the commentary notes her attacks can be intimidating to face. Shun trades his alcohol for tea, getting combat bonuses from drinking, and is shown executing dynamic attacks. Lion's core style remains similar to his standard Virtua Fighter 2 incarnation, focusing on powerful kicks and showing off moves like his tail whip. Sarah is highlighted for becoming incredibly cute in this version, losing her cool VF2 demeanor but gaining a sharp, impressive fighting presence with her strong kicks. Wolf is all about close combat, with his giant swings and throws being central to his game plan, played at a faster pace. Dural returns as the final boss, a high-performance machine combining moves from everyone, with changing expressions though her eyes remain a stark red. Finally, the page teases new Saturn-exclusive features, including comedic opening and ending movies that showcase the characters' daily lives, and a surprising revelation about the final boss encounter, suggesting another entity might appear alongside Dural, adding an intriguing mystery to the game's conclusion. This page dives into the world of Virtua Cop 2, showcasing the intense light gun action. The page features the game's logo prominently, alongside the three playable characters, Janet, James, and Eddie. It highlights key gameplay mechanics designed to enhance the immersion. A major point is the destructible environments. Shooting various objects like glass showcases, pottery, and even wooden boxes causes them to shatter realistically, adding to the chaotic feel of the action. The page also notes the dynamic appearances of criminals, who pop out from unexpected places, keeping players on their toes. Screenshots illustrate these features, showing enemies emerging from behind cover, objects breaking apart under fire, and environmental details like shaking chandeliers when shot. The excitement continues, with depictions of enemies reacting dramatically to being hit, getting knocked back, or even flying through the air. The first stage's climax is previewed, moving from a construction site to a boss battle, emphasizing the challenging resistance from criminals at this point. Finally, the page confirms that two-player simultaneous play, a classic feature for light gun games, is definitely included in the Saturn version, essential for enjoying the game with a friend. This page features a look at the upcoming Sega Saturn RPG, Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian, prominently displayed on the left. The artwork showcases the main cast against a backdrop of vibrant fantasy landscapes and battle scenes, giving a clear sense of the game's anime-inspired style and epic scope. Screenshots highlight turn-based battles and exploration, hinting at the classic RPG mechanics players can expect. The page announces the game is on sale in summer 1996, priced at 6,500 yen. It also mentions launch campaigns offering bonuses like a desktop calendar. On the right, there's a special feature highlighting a valuable CD jacket for Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You. This bonus item features artwork of popular characters from the dating simulation game, Shiori Fujisaki and Yumi Saotome. Simple diagrams show how to cut and fold the jacket for use. This bonus ties into the Saturn release of Tokimeki Memorial, which included a substantial color instruction manual featuring illustrations. The jacket allows fans to enjoy more character art. This page showcases more content related to Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You on the left, presenting a valuable CD jacket featuring the character Yuko Asahina and providing character introductions for some of the key girls in the game, detailing their personalities and interests like Ayaka Katagiri and Saki Nijino. The main feature on the right introduces the RPG Big 6 Collection 1 and highlights Tengai Makyo, the Apocalypse IV, the latest installment in the Tengai Makyo series. Artwork and screenshots illustrate the game's setting, described as an adventure spanning the American continent. The feature provides a thorough introduction to this epic RPG, showcasing its vibrant visuals and promising gameplay. A small data table at the bottom provides essential information about the game release. This page continues the deep dive into Tengai Makyo, the Apocalypse IV, building on the introduction from the previous page. It unveils new details about the game's ambitious scope and features. The game unfolds an epic story across the American continent, following the protagonist, Rad, a fire god, monster hunter, who embarks on a quest initiated by a letter from Althea, leading to a massive conflict engulfing the continent. Travel across this vast land is facilitated by methods like a bullet train and regular ship services, with distinctive locations like the Buffalo Den serving as travel points. The world is populated by colorful characters, including Rad and his companion Cherry, noted for having dual personalities. The game promises over 30 important characters to interact with. The page introduces Lady, a mysterious and elegant figure, Candy, who uses hypnosis and manipulates people, and Dr. M, creator of killer robots. A key gameplay element highlighted is the Personal Life Game System, PLGS, which incorporates a day-night cycle influenced by real-world time, impacting events, and gameplay. Field and dungeon exploration also features numerous gimmicks, including gravity-defying sections in locations like Hollywood's filming dungeon and strange formations in Yellowstone. The game emphasizes beautiful visuals, with stunning cutscenes inserted during events, totaling around 20 minutes of animated content across 30 scenes, created with a unique digital process. Dramatic demos are also packed into the game, promising an immersive narrative experience. The next page delves further into Tengai Makyo, the Apocalypse IV, showcasing the game's dynamic battle system featuring large, impressive character sprites that move fiercely across the screen. The smooth animation is achieved using a significant number of animation cells, with bosses utilizing up to 70 cells for fluid movement. The page also highlights the game's dedication to detail, with numerous minigames unrelated to the main story, ranging from polygon sumo and lottery games to city development simulations and jigsaw puzzles, adding significant variety. The game boasts over 100 distinct background patterns, reflecting the varied landscapes of the American continent you travel through. Key characters like the wild dancing Skullbeat are spotlighted for their detailed animation. The page also hints at intriguing confrontations like Geisha Robo vs. Manto. The feature concludes by teasing future reveals in upcoming issues, including events in the town of Candy and the involvement of the Beast Emperor, promising more exciting details about this ambitious RPG. This page offers a comprehensive look at Langrisser 2 Eyes, focusing on the early stages of the game's narrative and revealing details about upcoming scenarios and new characters. The article first recaps scenarios 1 through 5, detailing the initial collapse of the protagonist Larcus's kingdom and his desperate struggle to counterattack with his allies. This section highlights key moments in the main character's journey, illustrated with map views and character dialogue screenshots. Moving forward, the page teases the story of scenarios 6 through 10, promising a shift in narrative focus and the introduction of significant new characters who will impact the journey. It outlines the tactical challenges of scenario 6, where the protagonist must employ clever strategy against overwhelming forces. Scenario 7 hints at a dramatic and potentially sorrowful reunion involving a character named Flare, suggesting major emotional beats in the story. Screenshots showcase tactical battles on varied terrain, emphasizing the game's strategic grid-based combat system. The article also touches upon the gameplay, explaining that battles rely heavily on command input for troop management, movement, and using abilities, requiring careful tactical planning before and during combat. The preview builds anticipation for both the developing storyline and the strategic gameplay. The next page of this Langrisser 2i feature dives deeper into the developing story, introducing several key characters who will play significant roles. We see character art for Raymond, the protagonist, Gael, a seasoned general, Farbel, the high priest, and several antagonists like the creature Farakia, the unsettling Bugassar Rag, the imposing Dios, and the regal villain Paul. The article previews scenarios 8 through 10, building on the initial conflicts discussed previously. Scenario 8 involves rescuing a trapped witch, Scenario 9 sends the heroes into hostile territory, and Scenario 10 features a climactic battle against a powerful enemy leader. Accompanying screenshots showcase the tactical grid-based combat and character dialogue scenes, including hints of dramatic moments like Sophia being in danger. A dedicated section highlights gameplay checkpoints, explaining the game's structure where story events lead into strategic battles, and completing battles unlocks the next event. It also points out a neat detail. Characters' facial expressions change during dialogue scenes, adding depth to their reactions. This page confirms Langrisser 2i keeps the core strategic gameplay while expanding the narrative with new characters and challenging scenarios. This page features a deep dive into the highly anticipated RPG Lunar Silver Star story for the Sega Saturn, highlighting its impressive opening anime and the initial stages of the adventure. The article focuses on the early story beats, detailing the journey to the White Dragon's cave with Alex, Luna, and Ramus, the acquisition of the Dragon Ring, and the guidance received from the White Dragon regarding the path to becoming the next Dragon Master. Screenshots showcase various aspects of the game, including beautiful anime sequences, overhead exploration maps of the world and dungeons like the White Dragon's cave, turn-based combat with character sprites, and detailed town maps. The article also touches upon the gameplay, specifically mentioning the battle system's AI, which assists players in combat. Different locations are previewed, giving a glimpse into the vast world Alex will explore, including the bustling port town of Maribia and the magical city of Vane. It's clear the game aims to immerse players with its narrative, presentation, and classic RPG mechanics. This page dives into the intense world of Cyberdoll, a cyberpunk RPG on the Sega Saturn set 60 years in the future, where humanity faces a devastating disease and mechanical enemies known as D versus forget traditional RPG leveling. Cyberdoll features a unique system where characters grow by acquiring and swapping body parts from defeated enemies. Combat focuses on targeting specific enemy body parts like the head, chest, arms, and legs, with different parts affecting enemy capabilities. They'll need to manage weapon range and attack areas to fight efficiently. Character stats are directly tied to the body parts equipped, influencing everything from defense to speed and weight capacity. Beyond swapping parts, your shooting technique improves with different weapon types like pinpoint, aerial effect, and all-type attacks, adding another layer of strategy. The page showcases various screenshots, highlighting the dark, futuristic environments, the mechanical enemy designs, and the detailed combat system UI. It also praises the game's opening movie as a powerful introduction to its cyberpunk setting. This looks like a solid title for fans of deep character customization and strategic combat in a gritty sci-fi world. This page features two classic RPGs making their way to the Sega Saturn. On the left, we have RPG Big Collection 5, covering the opening story of Albert Odyssey. The article details the tragic backstory of the young protagonist, Pike, and how his village is destroyed in a goblin attack, leading to his fateful encounter with Lyra the Harpy. Screenshots showcase the world map, various scenes from the opening, and the character art for Pike and Lyra. On the right, RPG Big Collection 6 provides the latest development news for Ogre Battle, the March of the Black Queen. Development is progressing well, with enhancements made to the battle magic and character creation systems. The page displays impressive screenshots, showing off magic like Fireball and Vanish in combat. A unique aspect highlighted is the character creation process, which involves answering questions and selecting tarot cards to determine your character's stats and class. There's also a section listing the impressive voice cast for the game, promising great audio performances. Both games look promising for fans of the RPG genre on the system. This page features a promotion for Acaxia MD products on the left, highlighting their digital sound quality with a model holding the brand logo and showcasing various colored MD discs. There's also mention of a t-shirt campaign associated with the brand. The right side of the page dives into the King of Saturn section, presenting Ranking Street, which serves as a crossover between reader submissions and sales data to gauge game popularity. The overall sentiment expressed is that game sales are currently a bit slow. The rankings show Dragon Ball Z maintaining the top spot for several weeks, alongside strong performance from a Pachislot strategy game. The page includes ranking tables for 2 separate weeks, detailing the performance of various Sega Saturn titles like Sword and Sorcery, The King of Fighters 95, Darius 2, and Puyo Puyo 2, among others. It's a clear look at what games were trending with Saturn fans and selling well during this period. This page is a reader response postcard bound into the magazine, serving as a direct line between the fans and the publication. It's cleverly designed for readers to submit their feedback, participate in surveys like the Ranking Street section mentioned on the previous page, or enter contests for prizes. Fans can select which department they want to contact, whether it's the Cornhead Club, the Game Research Institute, or contribute to the fan rankings. The card includes fields for personal details like name, address, age, and phone number, essential for magazine interaction and receiving potential prizes. One side is specifically designated for applying for presents featured in this issue, allowing readers to rank their desired items. It's a crucial tool for the magazine to gather reader opinions and run promotions, showing how engaged the Saturn fanbase was with sharing their thoughts on the games and contents. This page presents a fascinating look into what Sega Saturn fans were playing and thinking. It features a real-time game ranking derived from reader votes, giving us a snapshot of the most popular and talked about games at the time. While the full list is extensive, it highlights the dynamic nature of the Saturn market as voted by the fans. The core of the page is the game report card, which offers detailed reader reviews and scores for the top-ranked titles. Leading the pack is Sega Ages, Tanter and Ichidanter, a compilation of popular puzzle arcade games. Readers praised this title for its fun, accessible gameplay, reasonable price, and engaging music, although some noted it was a straightforward port and wished for more new content. Other top games featured include the RPG Sword and Sorcery, the classic shooter Metal Black, the detailed RPG Wizardry Vis NV2 Complete, and the fighting game Dragon Ball Z, The Legend. The reader comments section offers valuable insights, echoing the sentiment that Sega Ages, Tanter and Ichidanter is a enjoyable package despite being a port, with particular love for the included minigames. The page concludes with a message from Sega, acknowledging the feedback and mentioning ongoing efforts for the Sega Ages series, hinting at future releases and potential improvements based on fan input. It's clear the publishers were paying close attention to their dedicated player base. This page continues the Ranking Street feature, presenting the next set of reader-voted game rankings. Coming in at second place is Sword and Sorcery, an RPG that garnered a mixed, slightly negative reception. Readers found some charm in the atmosphere and character conversations, but many criticized the low polygon graphics, awkward camera angles, and overly simplistic battle system, feeling it wasn't particularly welcoming for new RPG players. Third place goes to Metal Black, a Taito arcade shooter that received overwhelmingly positive feedback. Fans praised it as an excellent port, highlighting its faithful arcade feel, tight controls, great music, and intense boss battles. The smooth loading times and visual impact were also frequently mentioned as strong points. Finally, the ranking shows Wizardry Vi and V2 Complete at 4th place, which received a very negative reception. Readers found the game extremely difficult, with clunky controls and outdated graphics. The manual was criticized for being unhelpful, and even longtime fans expressed disappointment. The manufacturer acknowledged the feedback, noting they aimed for accessibility, but would try to improve based on player comments. This installment of Ranking Street features reader feedback and port requests. Dragon Ball Z, Legend of the Great Dragon Ball, 5th, and Practical Patchaslot Strategy, 3. 6th, received criticism for gameplay issues, while FIDA Remake, Emblem of Justice, 7th, was praised for its story. The popularity ranking shows Sakura Wars at number 1, ahead of Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You. Other top-ranked titles include Street Fighter Alpha 2, Dokusei 2, and Lunar, the Silver Star Story. The Saturn port request ranking highlights Final Fantasy V2, Resident Evil, and Tekken 2 as highly desired titles. The Garden of Port Requests discusses potential ports like Pearly Knights 2 and Shining Force. The magazine is seeking game reviews for both current and past games, including Rise of the Robots 2 and Strikers 1945. This guide, from the Invincible Game Research Institute, focuses on mastering the strategy game Shoryu Sangoku Engi, aiming to unify ancient China. Success depends on effective resource management and territorial expansion. Key to resource management is recruiting skilled officers, assigning them appropriate roles, and maintaining their loyalty. For territorial expansion, diplomacy, such as alliances and peaceful persuasion, is crucial. When war is unavoidable, prioritize targets, concentrate forces, and utilize tactics like ambushes. Understanding enemy strength and knowing when to retreat are vital. Conquering cities deep within enemy territory can be easier than assaulting heavily defended front lines. The game revolves around a cyclical process: gathering information, preparing for expansion, executing your plan, and managing acquired territories and officers. This page provides detailed strategies for human resources, diplomacy, and warfare to aid in achieving victory. This page is dedicated to mastering the fighting game Rise of the Robots 2. The introductory text highlights the difficulty of the game due to its overseas origin and the tough opponents, presenting this page as an essential guide for overcoming them. The main focus is a comprehensive command list for all 23 characters in the game, including the secret ones. There's a section explaining the different types of attacks, like super specials and termination attacks. It also details how to unlock and use the secret characters, noting that they require specific button inputs on the character selection screen and possess unique abilities. The majority of the page is dedicated to detailed tables showing the move lists for many of the game's robotic fighters. Each table lists a character's name, the command input required, and the effect of the move. Characters covered include Cyborg, Loaders, Primeb, Crusher, and many others, providing essential techniques for every robot on the roster. This is a must-have resource for anyone looking to master this challenging fighting game. This page features a strategy guide for a game titled Gamble King to the Road, which appears to be a simulation or dating sim where the goal involves gambling to earn money and using it to meet girls. The guide details the 1-year time limit, emphasizing efficient actions based on event schedules. It covers strategies for earning money through various races, horse, boat, bicycle, and how to use those funds to meet and build relationships with the game's 6 potential partners located across different regions. The extensive calendar showing the dates for these gambling events is highlighted as a key resource for planning. There's also a new section connecting Sega's development team with readers, inviting questions to developers from the CS Development Studio. This includes a ranking of desired ports for the Sega Ages series, with titles like Fantasy Zone, Power Drift, Outrun, Galaxy Force, Sonic the Hedgehog, Phantasy Star, Golden Axe, Dark Edge, Turbo Outrun, and Super Hang-In appearing on the list. Another section acts as a development diary, sharing insights from the studio and soliciting feedback and questions from readers for future installments. Finally, readers have a chance to win a Sega Nomad console by participating. This page features an update on the TBS radio drama series based on Lunar, Silver Star Story. It announces that the recording sessions for the drama have concluded. with the final session covering episodes 13 through 18, indicating the story is heading towards its climax. The drama recordings were completed in a relaxed, yet intense atmosphere. Excitingly, the radio drama will be released on CD, with 4 volumes planned for release starting in early August. The page also includes a selection of fan illustrations, featuring characters like Luna, Alex, Nash, and Mia, submitted by readers. There's a mid-interview with Hideyuki Hino, the scriptwriter for the radio drama, who discusses adapting the Lunar story for audio and mentions the differences between the Mega CD release, Lunar, the Silver Star, and the Saturn version, Lunar, Silver Star Story. The upcoming broadcast schedule is listed, providing brief summaries for episodes airing in July, hinting at plot points involving Zenobia, the Magic Emperor, and the Black Dragon. Finally, readers are invited to send in their feedback, questions for the cast and staff, and Lunar-related illustrations for future inclusion. This page offers a unique insight into Sega's operations and celebrates a major game release. On the left, the Sega Key Persons Network feature provides updates from various departments within the company. We hear from the software promotion team highlighting Nights into Dreams as a key title, the CS promotion department discussing advertising efforts for games like Nights, and several AMR&D divisions mentioning their work on arcade hits such as Daytona USA, Virtua Fighter, and the Saturn port of Sega Rally Championship. The digital media production team also teases upcoming music releases for Nights. The right side of the spread is dedicated entirely to the release of the highly anticipated Nights into Dreams, featuring stunning artwork of Nights, Claris, and Elliot flying through the dream landscape. This section is a special feature packed with strategy for the initial parts of the game, reveals new gameplay elements, and includes interviews with the development team. It captures the excitement around the game's launch and its unique premise of flying freely through a dream world. This page continues the deep dive into Nights into Dreams, focusing on strategies for maximizing your score and tackling the initial stages of the game. On the left, the guide details the score attack mode, explaining that high scores are achieved by collecting numerous items, particularly blue chips, and creating long links by flying through consecutive items. It highlights the importance of timing and performing acrobatic maneuvers after linking rings, showcasing specific button combinations and the resulting aerial moves that earn bonus points. The section provides examples of how to chain actions for maximum score gain. On the right side, the feature shifts to a walkthrough for the game's opening dreams. It covers the initial stages available to both characters, Clarissa's Spring Valley and Elliot's Splash Garden. The guide offers tactical advice for navigating each of the 4 courses within these dreams, focusing on efficient routes, collecting idea and chips, utilizing the drill dash for speed through rings, and understanding the challenges posed by Nightmare enemies. It emphasizes collecting idea capturers and keeping links alive to progress and earn higher rankings, setting the player up for success in the early parts of their dream journey. This page continues the guide for Nights into Dreams, focusing on the early dreams for each protagonist. On the left, it details Mystic Forest, Clarissa's dream, described as a mysterious forest world reflecting her unconscious mind. The guide highlights the narrow paths and the importance of linking rings to maximize score. It provides tactical advice for navigating each of the 4 courses, mentioning features like link balls, hidden paths, and specific Nightmare enemies like Cruel. On the right, the focus shifts to Splash Garden, Elliot's dream, portrayed as a bright, beautiful park with underwater sections, reflecting Elliot's gentle nature. The guide points out that this dream is slightly more difficult than Clarissa's starting dream. It offers tips for completing the 4 courses, including using the drill dash through rings, collecting blue chips and idea stars, navigating underwater areas, and dealing with Nightmare unique to this level, noting their transformations. The guide also mentions the camera angle changing in the final course. This page delves further into the world of Nights into Dreams, first by exploring Elliot's second dream, Frozen Belle. This stage transports you to a frozen, snowy mountainscape dominated by train bridges, a stark contrast to the previous dreams. The guide provides a course-by-course breakdown, offering tactical advice like mastering linking and efficient item collection in key areas, and notes that Nights can even transform into a sled in this environment. The page then shifts focus to introduce significant new elements. It reveals the primary antagonist and creator of the Nightmare, Wiseman, described as the embodiment of the Nightmare world's energy. His goal is to destroy Nightopia by projecting human consciousness there, while Nights rebelled against his dominance. We also get a look at a 2-player versus mode, allowing players to battle head-to-head as Nights and Relay, with the simple objective of landing 3 hits on your opponent. Finally, The unique life system is explained, detailing how player actions influence the Nitopian creatures, creating a dynamic ecosystem where interactions can even lead to new species or changes in background music. The final part of a developer interview for Nights into Dreams reveals the game's creation ambitions. The team aimed for characters as engaging as Sonic, dedicating more development time to Nights than the original Sonic game. Replayability was a key focus, with the dynamic life system influencing the environment and Nitopians, even leading to new species. Player actions directly affect the world, adding depth. The developers particularly enjoyed the concept of Elliot and Clarice working towards the ending. The project spanned approximately 2 years. A high-score contest is announced with photo submissions for specific courses, awarding prizes. The page also features profiles of producer Yuichi Sato and director Takashi Oshima, along with screenshots of the life system and contest details. The developers anticipate player enjoyment and acknowledge the possibility of a sequel if demand is high. This page provides the first part of a strategy guide for the Sega Saturn horror-adventure game, Gekka Mugentan. It showcases character portraits and introduces the mysterious foggy town where the game takes place. The central element is a comprehensive map of the town, essential for players to navigate the non-linear environment effectively. The guide details the initial steps players must take after escaping the opening area, leading them through various significant locations such as character homes, shops, and other mysterious spots marked on the map and illustrated with screenshots. It highlights key actions and item acquisitions necessary for progression, emphasizing the importance of exploring the town to uncover its secrets and advance the intriguing narrative. This page continues the strategy guide for the haunting adventure game, Toriko. It details crucial steps for progressing through the game, focusing on obtaining key items and navigating new areas. The guide explains how to find the tree sap hidden by Anthony by manipulating objects in his house to reveal a hidden mechanism and a key, then using that key to open a sap box. It also reveals how to get the key to the windmill house. Players must visit Gray's daughter's grave, offer specific yellow flowers found elsewhere, and then acquire the key from Gray himself. With the windmill house key in hand, you can enter and retrieve a rope ladder. The guide then instructs players to use this ladder to descend into a withered well, entering a dark underground passage. It highlights the need for light sources like a lamp and matches to navigate this area safely. Players will encounter obstacles, including doors requiring specific keys, like the one from the tree sap box, and a high wall that can be overcome using the tree sap to promote plant growth. The page is filled with screenshots illustrating each step, showing the characters Anthony and Gray, the locations like the gravesite and the underground passage, and the key items being acquired and used. The guide ends by hinting at further mysteries behind the next door. The next page dives into the world of idol simulation with a strategy guide for birth debut. This guide focuses on the core mechanics of training 3 aspiring idols, aiming to make them top stars. It breaks down how the various parameters like HP, stamina, confidence, and charm are affected by different lessons and activities. The guide explains what each parameter represents and how they influence an idol's performance and well-being. Key advice is given on managing the idol's schedules, emphasizing the importance of balancing strenuous training with rest and fun activities to prevent fatigue and maintain morale. It also touches on the difficulty of training all 3 idols simultaneously and suggests focusing efforts on 1 or 2 if needed. Finally, the page introduces the 3 main characters you'll be training: Aki Itu, Saori Fujimura, and Kumi Tanaka, detailing their initial stats and suggesting optimal training paths based on their strengths, such as Aki excelling in acting or Kumi being suited for photo shoots. Screenshots illustrate parameter changes and scheduling interfaces. This page provides a strategy guide for the idol simulation game birth debut, detailing parameter management, training tips, and character profiles. The next page continues the deep dive into birth debut, specifically focusing on managing the idol's ever-changing conditions throughout the year. It explains how various states like fatigue, illness, anger, crying, overconfidence, and different relationship colors affect their parameters and performance. For instance, fatigue or illness lowers HP and stamina, while anger and sadness reduce performance metrics. The guide details how key parameters like confidence, charm, vocal skill, acting skill, and wisdom are impacted by these conditions. It also introduces methods to prevent and recover from poor conditions through effective communication, such as checking in on their mood, giving gifts, offering praise, listening to their troubles, searching for them if they run away, or visiting them when they're sick. These interactions can recover specific parameters or confidence. The page also highlights the crucial annual events that occur throughout the game year, detailing the important parameter for success in each: charm for the February department store rooftop gig, vocal skill for April's local performances, CM filming in June, body/stamina for the August swimsuit competition, acting skill for October's surprise camera event, and overall popularity for the December newcomer award. Screenshots illustrate the communication menu, various condition states, and scenes from these yearly events. This page dives deep into the strategy for adventuring on the new Harmonia continent in Sword and Sorcery. It highlights combat as a central focus and guides players through the initial challenges. A key objective mentioned is acquiring an item to reach the continent and passing through a gate guarded by powerful enemies like Deshadow and Bilkuban. The guide covers combat basics, including using environmental obstacles to your advantage, and introduces some of the monsters encountered on the continent, noting that some former bosses now appear as regular enemies. Specific monsters like Scorpio, Melidra, and Delphine, Living Dead, and Horse Knight are given brief tactical tips. Crucially, the page emphasizes leveraging enemy weaknesses and mastering magic. It details the utility of essential spells like Sleep for control, Shield for defense, Lightning Bolt for offense, and Heal for recovery, explaining how controlling magic is key to controlling battles. Finally, the guide provides a walkthrough for the Bilkuban Tunnel dungeon, warning about environmental hazards like poison floors and explosive boxes, and pointing out areas where magic is disabled. It also gives directions to the town of Brass after clearing the dungeon. This guide outlines strategies for two challenging areas in Sword and Sorcery's Harmonia continent. First, players must traverse the desert to defeat the Sandrunner. Key strategies include gathering information from a hunter in Brass Town, acquiring specific equipment like the El Guten Kanekon alongside standard gear, and forming a strong party. Combat focuses on defensive and speed-boosting magic. The boss battle involves the Sandrunner and multiple Melidra. Next, the guide covers liberating Coldtrack, a snowy region controlled by the Frozen Emperor. Players should take a coastal route to Coldtrack Town. Defeating the Emperor requires attack magic, especially Fireball against his Dullahan form, and items like the Al-A Sitter. The guide lists enemy types such as Necromancer and Living Dead, along with recommended gear that includes Elgut, Kanekon, and full metal armor. Screenshots visually aid in understanding both environments, enemies, and combat. This page dives into Wizardry 6, Bane of the Cosmic Forge, and Wizardry V2, Crusaders of the Dark Savant, specifically focusing on supporting players tackling version 2's expansive outdoor world, a major shift from Via's dense dungeons. It highlights the importance of adapting your party and skills like swimming and scouting for this new environment. The guide zeroes in on Myrmidon Way, an initial area in Wizardry version 2. It walks you through key points, from your arrival via spaceship to encountering a mysterious figure and finding essential items like the Skullbone. It also touches on dealing with environmental challenges like fog and facing early enemies such as the Ratkin. The page includes a detailed map of the area, marking important locations, and provides quick data on monsters and treasure found there, offering a solid starting point for your outdoor adventure. This guide offers walkthroughs for Wizardry Vi and V2, focusing on key areas in version 2. The initial section covers the starter dungeon, Map B, a tutorial that teaches basic exploration. Players will find a healing spring, a vital document to enter New City, and encounter the boss, La Saletep. The guide details 7 treasure chests, including items like weapons, armor, and scrolls. It also instructs players on rescuing Officer Gorn through a button puzzle. Enemy data is also included. The walkthrough then proceeds to New City, Map C, the largest town in Guardia. Players learn how to interact with the gatekeeper, visit the innkeeper, and explore shops. Crucial tasks include obtaining the Black Wafer and battling guards. New City is the gateway to the Aran River and the next stage. The guide provides detailed maps and screenshots to assist players. The next page provides a strategy guide for the arcade classic, Strikers 1945. It specifically targets the first half of the game, suggesting the Spitfire MK V2 as a recommended choice for beginners due to its ease of use. The guide offers tips on selecting your aircraft based on your personal playstyle, and then dives into walkthroughs for the initial stages. It covers the Germany, America, Japan, and Russia stages, providing advice on navigating enemy formations and strategies for defeating the bosses encountered in each level, including the Dora Masher and XFB-1. The page also includes a useful summary detailing the unique strengths and weaknesses of all 6 playable aircraft, helping players decide which plane best suits their approach. Screenshots are included to illustrate key moments and enemy patterns in the stages. This page is dedicated to providing a strategic walkthrough for Aerofighters Special, or Sonic Wings Special as it's known here. The game is highlighted as requiring skillful handling to dodge the intense bullet patterns. The guide breaks down the game's structure, detailing the stage branching system that kicks in from Stage 5, allowing players to take different routes through the game, ultimately affecting the final destination. It provides tips on tackling the game's challenging stages and bosses, emphasizing the importance of identifying and destroying boss weak points, often designated as gun turrets, for efficient takedowns. Specific boss strategies are covered for formidable foes like the Sturmwaffel Leg and the Panama Canal, and the distinct bosses encountered depending on your Stage 7 route, whether the massive Maxim Gorky 2i or the multi-legged Super X-Walker. Unique stages like the Nighttime Paris, the high-difficulty Iraq stage, and the memorable Red Square and Hawaii levels with their bizarre flying roofs are also analyzed. Furthermore, the page reveals exciting post-game content. Clearing the game unlocks new, incredibly powerful fighters, including the entire NATO team. The game boasts a substantial roster, with up to 20 characters unlockable by completing the game with each character. This post-game content significantly extends the replay value, especially with the added ability to mix and match characters from different countries in 2-player mode. This page delves into the secrets of mastering Fatal Fury 3, Road to the Final Victory, focusing on how to unlock and effectively utilize the powerful boss characters and harness each fighter's unique potential abilities. The guide explains the process to gain access to the formidable Jin Chonrei and Jin Chonshu by clearing the game and saving your data, then loading it in a specific mode. Boss characters like Yamazaki, while scary to face, can become incredibly powerful allies once controlled. The page also highlights the importance of potential abilities, devastating techniques that can turn the tide of a match, though their command inputs and timing can be tricky. It provides insights and command inputs for the potential abilities of several key characters, including Terry Bogard's powerful combo starter and Dee Bogard's unexpected finisher, Bob Wilson's multi-hit assault, Hanfu's tricky ranged attack, Blue Mary's devastating anti-air, Joe Higashi's distance closer, Mai Shiranui's charge move, Geese Howard's counterstance, Ryuji Yamazaki's diverse toolkit, and the Jin brothers' overwhelming super arts. Screenshots illustrate these techniques in action, showcasing their visual impact and the characters performing them. The consensus is that mastering these potential abilities is key to becoming a top fighter in Fatal Fury 3. This page provides a detailed strategy guide for Panzer Dragoon Saga. It reveals a major secret. The final dragon is actually the protagonist dragon from the original Panzer Dragoon. The guide then explains how to achieve the maximum growth potential for your dragon by navigating specific routes and maintaining a high enemy shotdown rate, highlighting the unique challenges presented by different paths. It also details the conditions required to unlock all the bonus features within the game's Pandora's box, which includes access to extra endings, movies, playable prototype dragons, and various difficulty and starting options, rewarding dedicated players for multiple playthroughs. A small corner features commentary and illustrations from the character Ragi-chan. The right side of the page is dedicated to the Conehead Club, the reader mailbag section for Saturn fans. Readers share their thoughts and feelings, ranging from hopes and wishes related to Tanabata to frustrations over game release delays for titles like Lunar and Albert Odyssey. They also discuss highly anticipated games like Knights and Tokimeki Memorial, and touch upon connecting with other gamers in the community. This section reflects the passion and anticipation surrounding the Saturn's upcoming releases. Finally, a humorous manga strip titled Manga de Go! MK2I offers a lighthearted take, seemingly comparing the Sega Master System and the PlayStation. This page is dedicated to the fans, showcasing their passion for Sega Saturn games and connecting the community. The top section introduces We Are Supporters, calling for contributions and support for titles like the critically acclaimed Nights into Dreams, Kiss, and the Shooter Layer section. The page features dedicated fan sections for popular games, The Tokimeki Memorial Lovers Club includes reader submissions and fan art celebrating the romance simulation game. Similarly, the Nonomura Clinic section focuses on the unique adventure game, The People of Nomura Clinic, with fans sharing their love for its characters. The Dragon Force Friends Association gathers fans of the tactical RPG, highlighting their enjoyment of its complex strategy and diverse cast. Each fan section is accompanied by charming reader-submitted illustrations. A central illustration gallery showcases fan art covering a range of Saturn titles, including iconic characters from Knights, the fighting games Last Bronx and Sonic, the Fighters, the classic RPG Lunar, Silver Star Story, and the popular beat-em-up Guardian Heroes. There's also an illustration related to the character Honey. Finally, the SATA Fan Mailbag Q&A addresses reader questions about game releases, magazine features, submitting content, and other community topics, providing direct interaction with the magazine staff. This page dives into fan participation and tournament results, starting with a SEGA Fan Cover Prediction Contest, where readers guess the next magazine cover for prizes, featuring potential art from various Saturn titles. It also lists general rules for submitting fan content, like art, questions, and free talk. The main event is the Sega Cup tournament for the game J.League Professional Soccer Club wo Tsukuru, a joint Sega and SATA fan project. After fierce competition, the Sagamiwara Mistral Club has been crowned the winner. Fans also voted in an Angelique Special Character Popularity Contest, expressing their love for the game's cast. The results are in, and the most beloved character is Kravis. Finally, the developers of J.League Professional Soccer Club wo Tsukuru analyze the winning club's strategy and share insights on building a strong team in the game, discussing tactics like zone pressing and the importance of nurturing young talent. This page is packed with exciting news and fan opportunities. First up, iconic platformer, Nights into Dreams, is celebrating its release with awesome merchandise giveaways for readers, including a single CD, the soundtrack, a t-shirt, and a cap. There's also a glimpse of the game's signature flight action. For arcade enthusiasts, Sega is releasing new Virtua Stick models, bringing that authentic feel home with both a standard and a pro version shown. Big news for Panzer Dragoon fans. An anime adaptation is coming, promising a visually impressive experience faithful to the game's world. We see screenshots from the anime and photos of the voice cast at the recording studio. Adding a unique twist, characters from the Mahjong game Mahjong Idol Summer Memories are debuting as a real-life idol unit called Lins, releasing a single. The page includes photos of the group. Several other popular anime titles, like Urusei Yatsura and Osomatsu-kun, are also being released on video CD for the Saturn. Finally, the page announces a radio drama for the classic detective series, Jake Hunter Detective Story. Listeners get to participate, helping solve the case presented in the broadcast. Continuing the theme of fan engagement, this page features the Dynamite Present section, offering readers a chance to win cool prizes like posters for J.League Professional Soccer Club wo Tsukuru, The Legend of Wolf Fang, and Super Real Mahjong PV. It's clear the magazine values its readers with all these giveaways. This page presents a massive database covering all Sega Saturn software released up to June 28, 1996. It's a comprehensive resource for fans, organized by genre, and featuring special rankings based on reader surveys. The database lists games with details like release date, price, and compatibility with peripherals, which are conveniently abbreviated and listed alongside. A major highlight is the ranking section, based on reader feedback. The top-rated game overall is Virtua Fighter 2, praised for its impressive technical prowess. The page also includes a ranking of the worst-rated games, with Strategy Master getting the lowest score. Beyond the rankings, the page breaks down the Saturn library into various genres. You'll find lists for fighting action, role-playing, simulation, and adventure games, showcasing the diverse range of titles available on the platform at the time. It's a fantastic snapshot of the Saturn's growing library. This page continues the exhaustive database of Sega Saturn software, picking up with genres like shooting, sports, race, and puzzle. It provides vital stats for each title, including publisher details and compatibility information. You'll find acclaimed shooters such as Panzer Dragoon and Darius Gaiden listed, alongside popular sports games like FIFA Soccer and racing favorites like Daytona USA. The database also delves into more niche categories, with extensive lists for table games, and a particularly large section dedicated to mahjong titles, showcasing the breadth of the Saturn library in Japan. Educational software and a broad other category round out the collection, featuring unique titles and compilations. Each entry includes aggregate scores and rankings based on reader feedback, offering a snapshot of how these games were perceived by the Saturn community at the time. This page presents a comprehensive directory of contact information for various software and game manufacturers. Titled, Software Problems? In times like that, contact information. It serves as a vital resource for players needing technical assistance or support for their Sega Saturn games. The main section is a large table listing companies, their telephone and fax numbers, the name of the relevant support department, often user support, their operating hours, and specific notes regarding the type of inquiries they handle, such as whether they provide strategy hints or information about game bugs. The accompanying text emphasizes the importance of respectful communication when contacting these companies and advises users to be prepared with details about their issue. This listing covers a vast number of developers and publishers, making it an essential reference for any Saturn owner facing difficulties with their software. This page invites readers to participate in a survey for a chance to win prizes. The main focus is the Reader Present section, offering a giveaway of software and a telephone card. The survey asks readers for feedback on this issue's articles, their preferences for games and hardware, and their gaming habits. The prizes include several exciting Sega Saturn software titles, with 5 winners for each: Virtua Fighter Kids, the mech fighting game Cyberbots, the baseball sim Greatest 996, the classic sports compilation Decathlete, the popular puzzle game Puzzle Bobble 2X, and the high-octane racer Road Rash. Also available is a Langrisser 2i themed telephone card for 70 winners. The survey questions reference extensive lists provided on the page detailing all the articles in the issue, various game consoles and hardware, and a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn software titles, demonstrating the depth of content covered in the magazine. Readers can enter the giveaway by filling out a postcard based on the survey questions, with specific instructions provided on how to correctly format their answers for processing. The deadline for entries is July 18th. With results announced in the August 23rd issue. This is a great opportunity for fans to influence future content and potentially score some excellent games. This page features a prominent recruitment drive for a new weekly general TV game magazine, seeking staff for various editorial and sales positions. The main excitement, however, is the announcement of a brand new, original Mobile Suit Gundam title coming exclusively to the Sega Saturn, Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1. The Blue Destiny. This game promises a story revealed for the first time in Japan, unfolding across 3 distinct volumes. It's presented as a 3D shooting game, focusing on intense mobile suit combat. The page includes striking visuals, showing a Federation mobile suit under a moonlight sky, and a cockpit view screenshot depicting a battle against a Zaku, highlighting the immersive perspective players can expect. The game is currently deep in development, building anticipation for this Saturn-exclusive entry into the legendary Gundam universe. This page continues the spotlight on the upcoming Sega Saturn-exclusive Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1, The Blue Destiny, diving deeper into its features. It highlights the game's ambitious story, an original narrative set in circa 0079, unfolding across 3 volumes, and centered on protagonist Yu Kojima. A major focus is placed on the game's dedication to realistic mobile suit movement. Utilizing 3D polygon models and detailed textures, the developers aimed for faithful animation, targeting a smooth 30 frames per second to bring the mechs to life in battle. An interview with Bandai's Yoshifumi Inohata provides insight into the development. He discusses the technical challenges and achievements on the Saturn, emphasizing the effort put into the graphics and animation. He confirms the story progresses through the volumes, with new mobile suits and elements introduced along the way, including the titular Blue Destiny unit. The game features a variety of mobile suits per stage, aiming to recreate the feel of the One-Year War, with detailed unit movements and a serious atmosphere. The page is filled with screenshots showcasing the 3D models, environments, and dynamic combat. This page announces a massive push for the popular digital idol series Galaxy Fräulein Yuna on the Sega Saturn, revealing that 3 distinct titles are in development and heading to the console. The article, dripping with excitement, highlights the franchise's creator, Mika Akitaka, and features vibrant character artwork of Yuna and her companions. The big news is the unveiling of 3 distinct projects. First is Galaxy Fraulein Yuna SS, a completely original title for the Saturn combining simulation and adventure elements, promising the appearance of popular characters. Next up is Galaxy Fraulein Yuna 1 Remix, an enhanced version of the original PC Engine digital comic, featuring upgraded visuals for opening and battle sequences. This remake is slated to be the first of the 3 releases. Finally, a Galaxy Fraulein Yuna hybrid graphic collection is announced, a Crydrom packed with high-quality artwork from the series' history, aiming to preserve the art in stunning detail. The page conveys strong anticipation for the series' expansion onto the Saturn platform, with this diverse lineup. This page features a detailed interview with Mika Akitaka, the creator of the popular Galaxy Fraulein Yuna series, discussing the franchise's expansion onto the Sega Saturn. Akitaka delves into the development of the upcoming Saturn titles, including the original Galaxy Fraulein Yuna SS, which will blend simulation and adventure elements. He touches upon the technical aspects of bringing Yuna to the Saturn and the excitement of leveraging the hardware for improved visuals and animation, while expressing caution about transitioning the art style to polygons. The page also provides glimpses into the series' history, with brief profiles and screenshots of previous PC Engine releases, like the original Galaxy Fraulein Yuna, Eternal Princess, and Galaxy Fraulein Yuna FX. These sections showcase the evolution of the series and highlight key characters like Yuna herself and her companions, such as Urili and Kubik, along with notes on their gameplay mechanics and story elements. Finally, a Scoop section announces that Red Company's official website will be updated twice a month, with new content related to Galaxy Fraulein Yuna, including illustrations and behind-the-scenes information, encouraging fans to check online for the latest news. Overall, the page provides an in-depth look at the creator's vision and the anticipated Saturn releases for the beloved Digital Idol series. The next page presents an exclusive interview regarding the upcoming Sega Saturn title, Ninja Jajamaru-kun, Onikiri Ninpuchu. The page features a large title graphic, artwork of the main protagonist Jajamaru-kun, and several other characters, along with screenshots of the game in action. The interview section includes insights from program director Masashi Nakamaru and planning/game designer Masayoshi Endo. They discuss the challenge and excitement of bringing the classic 2D series into the 3D realm for the Saturn. Endo highlights the goal of creating fast-paced, exhilarating 3D action, acknowledging comparisons to other 3D platformers like Knights or Mario, but emphasizing the unique Jajamaru feel. Nakamaru touches upon the technical hurdles, particularly polygon processing and optimization for the Saturn hardware, noting the importance of background processing for effects like ninja techniques. The developers express their dedication to creating a satisfying game that lives up to fan expectations. The artwork showcases the new 3D designs for Jajamaru-kun, and a cast of familiar and potentially new enemies or allies, including Oyuki, Yanbaba, and others, while the screenshots give a glimpse of the game's environments and combat. This page jumps straight into the action, highlighting 2 distinct 3D combat titles. On the left, we get a look at Steel Dome, a unique game described as a 3D fighting shooter where players control robotic armor. The focus here is on the blend of shooting and close-quarters combat, featuring various movement techniques like slides and hovering. We see screenshots showcasing different environments like a fiery sea, a temple, and a snowy landscape, promising diverse battlegrounds. On the right, the spotlight is on Battle Arena to Shinden Yura, the exclusive Saturn entry in the popular fighting series. This section specifically introduces the mysterious new character, Ripper. We get details on his appearance and personality, noted as cold and wielding unique weapons. Screenshots show Ripper in action against EG, highlighting his combat motions and impressive counterattacks. The article also teases Ripper's backstory and his role in the game's narrative, hinting at a quest for revenge. It's clear the developers wanted to make Ripper a compelling addition to the Toshinden universe. This page showcases 2 distinct action titles. On the left, we delve into Assault Suits Lanos 2, the sequel to the intense mech combat series. The article highlights the detailed action and introduces new stages beyond the forest settings seen previously. Gameplay elements like dashing and hovering are shown, emphasizing the refined control and dynamic movement. Screenshots capture the visceral mech battles, from close-quarters forest skirmishes to large-scale engagements on challenging terrain, promising an evolution of the series' signature action. On the right, the spotlight is on J-SWAT, presented as a sequel building upon a realistic 3D shooting foundation with simulation aspects. This game focuses on tactical operations, detailing the flow of a mission, which involves receiving orders, deploying, dealing with threats in varied environments including indoors, rescuing hostages, and apprehending criminals. The gameplay involves deliberate movement, weapon management, and strategic targeting. The success of these actions, particularly rescuing hostages and capturing suspects, contributes to a final evaluation and ranking, adding a layer of replayability and strategic depth to the shooting mechanics. This page dives into the world of AM2 and the promotion behind the groundbreaking Virtua Fighter 3. An interview with AM2 publicity section manager Fumio Kurokawa sheds light on the extensive efforts to market this highly anticipated game. The discussion covers a range of strategies, from integrating product placement within games as seen with Pepsi and Fighting Vipers, to hosting large-scale events like the Polygon Junkie series that combined gaming and music. Kurokawa also talks about exploring visual media such as TV commercials and CG portrait packages, and even hints at potential drama adaptations or merchandising efforts. The visuals include a screenshot of Fighting Vipers featuring the Pepsi ad, a photo of a bustling Virtua Fighter event, a character from Virtua Fighter Kids promoting a drink, and an image suggesting CG portraits related to VF3 might be released, showcasing the comprehensive approach taken to promote AM2's fighting game giant. This page features a fan-focused section dedicated to AM2 games, offering a trial version of Virtua Fighter Kids as a prize for featured contributors. It showcases fan artwork depicting characters from various AM2 titles, notably several interpretations of Honey from Fighting Vipers, alongside other Sega characters, highlighting the passion of the fanbase. The section actively seeks more submissions related to Virtua Fighter, Fighting Vipers, Virtua Cop, Sonic, and other Sega hits. The other half of the page is dedicated to Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You, presenting printable CD jacket artwork from the game. It lists basic game information like the developer, Konami, and genre, simulation. The main draw here is the high-quality character art, featuring heroines like Shiori Fujisaki, Megumi Mikihara, and Saki Nijino, intended for fans to cut out and use. It even includes a small diagram showing how to fold and insert the printed jacket into a CD case. This section leans into providing fans with collectible merchandise directly from the magazine. This page continues the theme from the previous one, offering more valuable CD jacket artwork, this time showcasing additional heroines from Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You, alongside their brief character introductions. This section provides fans with collectible material featuring characters like Mira Kagami and Yukari Koshiki. The larger portion of the page is dedicated to a comprehensive Sega Saturn software review section titled Impression, featuring critiques from 10 different reviewers, a large panel for the time. It covers both currently available and upcoming Saturn titles. The standout games mentioned are Nights into Dreams and, fittingly, Tokimeki Memorial Forever with You. The reviews utilize a point system out of 10, accompanied by brief comments and a rating indicating how much the reviewer wants to buy the game. A separate section provides data on each reviewer's genre preferences, offering context for their scores. This section gives players a good overview of the latest and most anticipated Saturn releases from multiple perspectives. This page continues the comprehensive Sega Saturn Soft Impression section, presenting further reviews from the large panel of critics. The games featured on this spread include Fatal Fury 3, Road to the Final Victory, Nights into Dreams, Decathlete, Clockwork Knight 2, Aquazone for Sega Saturn, and Aqua World, Umi Monogatari, each with a screenshot displayed. Reviewers comment on Fatal Fury 3 having noticeable loading times but retaining the series' core feel, resulting in an average score of 5.2. Nights into Dreams receives high praise for its simple controls, refreshing atmosphere, and unique concept, reflected in an impressive average score of 8.4. Decathlete is highlighted for its simple yet engaging multi-event sports gameplay, with reviewers recommending a joystick for the best experience, earning it a 7.8 average. Clockwork Knight 2 is discussed regarding its controls and level design, scoring a 5.2. The two Aqua titles are unique entries, providing experiences focused on simulating or viewing digital tropical fish, a niche but interesting use of the hardware. The section maintains its format of multiple viewpoints and average scores to give readers a varied perspective on the latest Saturn releases. This article reviews several new Saturn game releases. Pinball Graffiti struggles with camera issues, earning a 5.3. Tokimeki Memorial Forever With You, a dating sim, impresses with its presentation and characters, scoring a 7.3. Gameware Volume 2, a Saturn magazine with minigames and software for fans, is also covered. Greatest 996, a baseball simulator, gets a 6.7, with some control complaints. Sega Ages. Space Harrier receives a 6.0, lauded for its arcade accuracy but criticized for controls. Saturn Bomberman is highlighted for its chaotic 10-player battles. The article also notes a trend of special game bundles and lists upcoming releases from July 20th to August 2nd. This page continues the Saturn software impressions, starting with a look at Bust-A-Move 2X, praised as a refined masterpiece puzzle game that improves on the arcade version, with features like full-screen display and item usage, earning a solid 7.6. Next up is Mahjong Kyo Jidai Seibu Island, a unique 4-player Mahjong title that features attractive polygon characters and models, though it receives a lower score of 4.7. The page also features a reviewer roundtable discussion, touching on several titles. They mention Fatal Fury 3, suggesting it's best for players who don't mind loading times. There's further discussion on the story depth in Pinball Graffiti, the mixed reception to the unique aspects of Greatest 9, and how Tokimeki Memorial appeals to player preferences. Finally, they discuss Nights into Dreams, noting its challenging nature and appeal to dedicated fans, with comments on its striking visuals and character design. Screenshots of gameplay and character models are featured for the discussed games. This page dives into the party game masterpiece, Saturn Bomberman, highlighting its normal mode and the helpful Tyra companions. The normal mode supports cooperative play for 1 or 2 players through a series of imaginative stages, from an amusement park and a feudal castle to a western town, a prehistoric jungle, and an enemy base. Each stage presents unique challenges and culminates in a boss fight against various mechanical and monstrous foes, leading up to the final confrontation. The page also details the Tyra, distinct animal allies that assist Bomberman with unique abilities like dashing, jumping, stunning enemies, kicking bombs further, and even using sonic waves to locate hidden items. These abilities grow and become more potent as the Tyra evolve, adding a layer of strategic depth to the gameplay. The reviewers clearly appreciate the varied gameplay and the helpfulness of the Tyra. The next page delves deeper into Saturn Bomberman, covering its challenge modes and the iconic multiplayer battle experience that the series is famous for. It introduces the Rank Certification mode, a test of skill where players aim for high ranks by mastering advanced techniques. Key strategies discussed include precise bomb placement to trap enemies, effectively using thrown or kicked bombs for direct hits and chain reactions, and stacking bomb explosions for maximum effect. The page also warns against picking up detrimental items like the Geta, which slows movement, and the Jirai bomb, a trap bomb. Moving on to the core of the Bomberman series, the page extols the virtues of versus battles, highlighting that Saturn Bomberman supports up to a staggering 10 players. It showcases the variety of battle modes available, including the strategic tag match and the Chao Kautic Devil Summon mode. The importance of picking up beneficial items like Fire Up, Bomb Kick, Power Glove, and Roller Skates is stressed, as these are crucial for gaining an advantage in the arena. The game features diverse stages, from a space colony to a jungle, each with unique layouts and traps, some of which change dynamically between day and night settings. The page concludes by mentioning the fun Bomber-Catcher item game and the exciting Charavan event, offering 10-player battles, emphasizing that the true spirit of Bomberman lies in these competitive showdowns. This page presents the Sega Ages release of Space Harrier on the Sega Saturn, celebrating the return of the arcade classic after 11 years. It hails the game as a speed-filled 3D shooting masterpiece, praising the Saturn port for its faithful reproduction of the arcade's intense gameplay and dynamic visuals, which react directly to player movement. The core experience focuses on dodging without power-ups, a challenge enhanced by new modes like the simplified Extra Easy and the score-focused Trial Time mode. The page also delves into strategies like missile evasion and discusses the arcade-like feel provided by the optional mission stick controller. Finally, it previews the game's latter stages, 13-18, showcasing the increasingly chaotic environments and challenging bosses, including Dural, Asut, Visel, Natra, Narc, and the final combined form, Abysmal, highlighting the game's relentless pace and visual variety. This page dives into the world of baseball with Greatest 996. This game aims for a truly realistic baseball experience, bringing in live commentary that dynamically changes based on the game situation and even features real announcers adding to the atmosphere. The core experience revolves around the deep pennant race mode, letting you manage a team through a full season, dealing with player conditions, injuries, and unpredictable events like weather delays, all impacting gameplay. The game utilizes updated real player data, and you can manage your roster by moving players between the main team and the farm team to maintain peak performance. The team edit function is highlighted, allowing for flexible team creation and player customization, using a keyword system to define abilities, making personalized teams easy to build. The visuals impress with detailed player models and recreations of real stadiums, reinforcing the commitment to authenticity in this comprehensive baseball simulation. This page showcases Decathlete, a sports action game for the Sega Saturn that lets you compete in 10 different track and field events, testing your power and speed. The game features simple controls based on button mashing and timing, allowing players to take on the challenge of the decathlon. There are 8 selectable athletes representing different countries, each with unique strengths and abilities. The game boasts smooth polygon graphics for the character models and realistic visuals. You can compete in the main decathlon mode, which spans 2 days of competition across all 10 events, or hone your skills in the practice mode, focusing on individual events. The goal is to achieve high scores and challenge world records, with the game recording your best performances. The game captures the intensity of athletic competition with various events like sprints, hurdles, jumps, and throws. This page dives into the world of Bust-A-Move 2 and Bust-A-Move 2X, featuring the iconic Bubble Bobble duo, Bubs and Bobs, in their popular puzzle spin-off. The big draw highlighted here is the bundling of both Bust-A-Move 2 and the enhanced 2X version, offering a massive library of over 540 stages right out of the box. The core gameplay remains the addictive bubble-popping action we know and love. Match 3 or more bubbles of the same color to clear them from the screen, aiming for high scores by creating chains and dropping large groups. The page breaks down the various modes available, including the extensive single-player puzzle mode with numerous levels, versus modes against the CPU or a friend for competitive bubble battles, and even a detailed look at the different types of special bubbles that shake up the gameplay. A standout feature is the included edit mode, allowing players to create and share their own custom stages, adding immense replayability. The article emphasizes the strategic depth, particularly the satisfying feeling of pulling off difficult bank shots to clear tricky layouts. The clear conditions vary between puzzle and versus modes, keeping things fresh depending on how you play. This package is clearly positioned as the definitive version of Bust-A-Move 2, with a huge amount of content for puzzle fans. This page features 2 distinct titles. On the left is Road Rash, a brutal American motorcycle racing game making its Saturn debut. It throws the rulebook out the window, encouraging players to punch and kick rival racers, and even tangle with the police. Earning cash from races lets you buy faster bikes to stay competitive across varied environments, like cities and mountain passes. The goal is to battle your way through ranks, using weapons like chains or pipes to literally knock opponents off their bikes, aiming to become the ultimate road rash champion. On the right is Clockworks, an action puzzle game from the mind behind Tetris. It challenges players to guide a small dot through clock-like levels, avoiding the relentless clock hands that act as enemies. Success hinges on clever use of special moves, like reverse, bound, flip, and swing, to navigate obstacles and reach the goal. The game offers a substantial normal mode, with 50 stages, a competitive battle mode where players race to collect items, and a game editor allowing creative minds to design their own devious puzzles. It's a unique blend of quick reflexes and spatial reasoning. This page takes a serene turn, moving from the previous page's high-octane racing and intricate puzzles to the calming world of aquatic life simulations. On the left, we have Aqua World, which focuses on showcasing 19 different types of fish through beautiful 3D visuals. It's less of a game and more of an interactive encyclopedia, allowing players to view detailed data on each fish and even experience swimming alongside them in a unique mermaid mode. The right side features Aquazone, a popular tropical fish-raising simulation making its way to the Saturn. This title is all about creating and managing your own virtual aquarium. You'll choose your tank, carefully select and care for various tropical fish, manage water conditions, add decorations, and even name your find friends. It offers a realistic simulation experience, letting you enjoy the tranquility of raising fish right in your own room. Both titles provide a relaxing contrast to typical gaming fare, appealing to those who appreciate observation and nurturing simulations. This page shifts gears to cover two distinct areas. First, we delve into the world of Gravure Idol Mahjong, with having fun playing Mahjong with 3 Gravure idols on a southern island, part of the Mahjong Kyojidai series. The game uses polygons for the Mahjong table, and features movie sequences of the 3 idols, Ryoko Kimura, Chiasa Aonuma, and Miho Nomoto, that change based on your score. Unlike previous titles, the focus is on earning high scores to unlock different scenes. A bonus disc is included, containing digital photo collections of the featured idols. The second major section reports on connecting the Sega Saturn to NiftyServe, a prominent online service in Japan at the time. The article details the process of getting online using the Pad Nifty software and exploring various services. This includes accessing Sega game information, participating in real-time chat via the CB simulator, and sending/receiving email. The reviewer found the process straightforward and highlights the enjoyable experience of online communication and information gathering on the Saturn. This document provides hyper-ultra-tech tips for Sega Saturn games, categorized by skill rank. Skill rank 5 covers Night Striker S, explaining how to activate Euro mode, enhanced laser fire, and access stage select via controller input. Skill rank 4 delves into Dragon Force, detailing recruitment methods for normally unjoinable characters like Riskima and even an enemy Sarah. A more complex exploit allows for 2 Sarahs simultaneously. Skill rank 3 tips include infinite item acquisition in Wizardry Vi and V2 Complete, and easy high score entry 4. Hanku Shashin tips reveal character name changes and a sound test. Skill rank 3 also covers Virtual Casino, enabling players to gain nearly 1 billion coins in free play mode through a borrowing system exploit. These tips unlock hidden features and offer significant advantages to players. This page continues the hyper-ultra-tech tips for Sega Saturn games, covering skill ranks 3, 2, and 1. For skill rank 3, you can learn how to access bonus stages in the arcade port of Slot Shooting, immediately jump to the ending in Gungrafon, the Eurasian conflict with a specific input, and utilize a secret command in Titan Wars. Skill rank 2 offers tips for various titles. In Victory Goal 96, certain conditions unlock hidden character images and allow you to hear the voice of famous Japanese footballer Kushi Kikawa. Sword and Sorcery has a hidden mini-drama that plays after you clear the game. RoboPit players can learn a technique to reuse objects they throw. There's also a tip for Siberia, allowing you to start playing directly from the final stage. Dragon Force features hidden events within Elman Castle that unlock based on the castle's level, including gaining the Badge of Fear. Finally, Skill rank 1 provides simpler tips. Winning Post 2 has a gentle paddock interaction. Gulliver Boy offers tricks for a triple stamp day for item collection, and an instant full stats recovery method. Nonomura Hospital People holds a secret related to the hospital itself, and the Doraemon game features a fun karaoke mode. The page also includes a small section for reader submissions, gathering tips, and requests for future issues. This page kicks off the second installment of Arcade Hits Now, focusing on the latest sensation hitting the arcades, Last Bronx. This 3D weapon-based fighter is brand new, and this feature dives into some fresh details that players might not know, particularly highlighting unique character techniques. The article reveals some special moves that weren't even listed on the game's standard arcade cabinet instruction cards, giving players an edge if they know the secret commands. It also touches on minor features like how to select alternative character colors for Player 2, and hints at promotional videos running in arcades. Further adding to the gameplay depth, the page details the D-button challenge pose feature and introduces the survival mode. In survival mode, players face a gauntlet of computer opponents with limited health recovery, and their performance is ranked, offering a different challenge from standard matches. Detailed lists of special moves and their commands are provided for several characters, including Yusaku, Lisa, Yoko, Nagi, Joe, Tommy, Kurosawa, and Zaimoku, showcasing the diverse fighting styles each character and their chosen weapon brings to the arena. This page marks the exciting launch issue of Famimaga 64, a complete rebranding of the long-running family computer magazine, pivoting to focus heavily on the arrival of the Nintendo 64. The cover prominently features Super Mario 64, reflecting its status as a key launch title, alongside Pilotwings 64. The magazine declares its full commitment to covering the N64 extensively, while assuring readers they will continue to provide complete coverage of Super Famicom, SNES, Game Boy, and Virtual Boy as well. The page also previews content for the next issue, highlighting in-depth strategy features for the N64 launch titles, Super Mario 64, and Pilotwings 64, leveraging information from Nintendo Power in the US. Upcoming supplements include a strategy guide for the highly anticipated Super Famicom RPG, Star Ocean, and a portable guide for Mystery Dungeon, Shirin the Wanderer, GB. The cover also mentions features on games like Street Fighter Alpha 2, GQ Powerful Pro Baseball 96, and Dragon Quest II, indicating a broad scope beyond just N64 at this launch. This page previews Warp's upcoming Sega Saturn title, Enemy Zero. The page features a large image of the protagonist, Laura, alongside various screenshots showcasing environments and characters from the game. It's presented as an interactive movie for the Sega Saturn, with a planned release in fall 1996. The text highlights that the game aims for a movie-like experience, with Laura as the central figure, set within a space environment. While movie-oriented, it will still retain gameplay elements. The developers also mention digital sadness as a conceptual theme explored in the game. This page features previews for several upcoming Sega Saturn titles. On the left we have Girls Panic SS, an arcade puzzle action game where players capture territory while avoiding enemies. This Sega Saturn port enhances the experience with a battle mode, single-player mode, and a selection of 10 girls. It's set for release in late September. Below that, there are brief mentions of 2 strategy games, Tukyu Shogi, a shogi game with strong rival Ai, and Mahjong Aotenju, a mahjong title focused on achieving difficult hands. Both are scheduled for release in late October. The right side showcases Langrisser 2i, a simulation RPG. The artwork highlights key characters from the series. The game promises strategic depth with a semi-real-time battle system, flexible class changes, and a heroine selection system. It's releasing on September 13th, with a limited edition package offering special items and a promotional tie-in with a radio program event. This page features a look at 2 distinct puzzle games. On the left we have Clockworks, an action puzzle game overseen by none other than Alexei Pajitnov, the famed creator of Tetris. This is presented as the game's debut in Japan. Visuals have a unique claymation style, and screenshots show a grid-based puzzle where you manipulate clocks. The game was slated for release on multiple platforms, including the Sega Saturn in July. The right side presents a game under the title Papu Breeder, from a group called Psygnosis. What immediately stands out is the main character, who bears an undeniable resemblance to Parappa the Rapper. The text describes it as a new kind of game where you instruct animal angels named Papu, who have their own will and may not always obey perfectly. It's classified as an instruction training interactive simulation game, fitting the rhythmic command style Parappa would become known for. The header proclaims it's a special report. The next page features a mail-in application postcard for OMMG, a prominent marriage information service in Japan. Readers can fill out their details to request information and a video about the service. This page contains an advertisement for OMMG, the marriage information service introduced on the previous page, featuring their mascots and contact details. The next page previews the Sega Saturn game Death Throttle, a violent and intense 3D driving shooter. Set in Kamosity in 2047, the game tasks players with escaping a crime-ridden, mutated city in a weaponized taxi. Published by MediaQuest, Death Throttle was scheduled for release on July 12th with a price of 5,800 yen. Screenshots hint at first-person driving action and character interactions. This page is a coming soon feature showcasing exciting upcoming titles for the Sega Saturn. First up is the arcade doubleheader, Taito Chase, HQ plus SCI. These aren't just simple racing games. You take on the role of a police officer chasing down criminals. Steps things up by letting you directly shoot the target vehicle to deal damage, alongside destroying road obstacles and even receiving weapon deliveries from an allied helicopter, like a powerful bazooka. Screens show the intense police pursuit action, and the distinct gameplay styles of both titles. Next we see Tri-Rush Deppy, a unique side-scrolling action game where you control a quirky taxi driver named Deppy. You race through stages, tackling challenges that include incorporating 3D slot machine minigames to earn extra chances. The game is filled with humorous, deformable car characters, including the protagonist, and your interactions with them influence the ending. The screenshots highlight the colorful levels and the expressive character designs. Finally, Magical Drop 2 is previewed. This is the Saturn port of the popular arcade puzzle game, where players rapidly pull down and match colored bubbles. While maintaining the core addictive gameplay, the Saturn version adds new elements, like character voice dialogue. 7 distinct characters are featured, each with their own personality based on tarot cards like the Chariot, the Fool, and the Star, and their bubble patterns are unique, adding strategic depth to the fast-paced action. Upcoming Sega Saturn games include a variety of genres. Nazo Makaimura, a puzzle game based on ghosts and goblins, challenges players to manipulate contraptions. Brain Dead 13 is an interactive animated action game requiring quick reflexes. Japan Super Bass Classic 96 offers a realistic bass fishing simulation with licensed gear and pro anglers. Shingata Kururin is an updated puzzle/action game with enhanced mechanics and more characters. Finally, Tournament Leader is a polygon-based golf simulation with realistic course data and commentary. This page showcases more exciting upcoming Sega Saturn titles. First up is Pradol Disc Volume 2 featuring Miki Uchiyama, a multimedia release combining photo collections with high-quality video footage of the idol in various settings. Next we see Mahjong 4 Sisters, an arcade port bringing stripping mahjong action to the Saturn with animated sequences, and 4 beautiful sisters ready to challenge you. Then there's Feng Shui Sensei, a unique city simulation where you improve urban environments by applying the principles of Feng Shui, strategically placing buildings to enhance the flow of spiritual energy. Following that is Romance of the Three Kingdoms V, the historical simulation title from Koei, covering ancient China with enhanced 3D graphics and featuring over 600 historical figures with detailed abilities as you strive for unification. Finally, the page features Actua Golf, a polygon-based 3D golf simulation ported from the arcade, utilizing motion capture for realistic golfer movements, offering various game modes like Pro Tour and Practice, and featuring detailed courses and shot types. This page delves into several upcoming Sega Saturn releases. Haunted Casino mixes adventure and casino gameplay in a detailed 3D environment, focusing on exploring a haunted mansion and engaging in card games and roulette, enhanced by a unique 3D sound system designed for realism. Earthworm Jim 2 brings the quirky platforming hero to the Saturn with improved graphics, showcasing his signature bizarre moves and animations. Coastal Dead Heat Plus Real Arrange offers an updated racing experience with refined physics and high-quality MPEG cutscenes featuring popular idols. Galjan presents a mahjong game with stripping elements, notable for its use of rotoscoping animation to create detailed character movements with specific female opponents. Lastly, Olympic Soccer provides a simulation of the Atlanta Olympics, featuring polygon players animated with motion capture and allowing players to compete with teams from various countries. This page previews several diverse upcoming titles. Death Crimson is a rail shooter with a unique transforming gun that evolves as you play, featuring varied levels from city streets to jungles and emphasizing dynamic backgrounds and challenging bosses that require more than just shooting. Next up is Zoop, a fast-paced puzzle game where you clear colored blocks by matching them from 4 directions. It offers different modes like clearing all blocks or aiming for high scores, with power-ups to help you out. Body Bionics, tentatively titled Amazing Microcosmos Human Body, is an action game based on an NHK special, tasking you with guiding a power pod through the human body to recover a brain. Rounding out the previews is Striker 96, a World Cup-themed soccer game using motion capture for realistic player movement. It features teams from 38 countries, supports up to 4 players, and offers various game modes including World Cup and Asia Cup, as well as different camera angles and indoor/outdoor options. The page also briefly touches on new title trends, highlighting upcoming games across different platforms including Saturn and Game Gear like Sonic 3D Blast and Panzer Dragoon Mini, and announces the arrival of the 8 MB extended RAM cartridge for the Saturn, confirming compatibility with titles such as Samurai Showdown IV and the King of Fighters 96. This page provides an extensive report on the latest development status of numerous anticipated Sega Saturn titles. Highlights include popular RPGs and adventure games like Sakura Wars, Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Hideo Kojima's cinematic Policenauts, all showing good progress. Fighting game fans have a lot to look forward to, with arcade hits like Street Fighter Alpha 2, Fighting Vipers, and Real Bout Fatal Fury being ported, alongside Sonic the Fighters. Action games, like Virtual Cop 2, and the mech sequel Assault Suits Lanos 2, are also in the pipeline. The page also previews strategy and simulation titles, such as Tactics Ogre, Ogre Battle, Romance of the Three Kingdoms V, and Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Other diverse genres covered include the puzzle spin-off Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Puzzle Dama, the adventure game Jake Hunter Detective Story, Unfinished Report, and the unique CG-focused Enemy Zero. Developers provide brief insights into the state of each game's creation, indicating a busy future for the console. This page features a comprehensive release calendar for Sega Saturn and Game Gear titles. The Sega Saturn section details upcoming releases, starting with July, which includes games like Nights into Dreams, Aqua Zone, and Wipeout. August sees titles such as Virtua Fighter Kids and Cyberbots, Full Metal Madness. September lists games like Aksha Soccer and Starfighter 3000. There are also extensive lists of games under Coming Soon and Release Date Undecided, featuring a wide variety of genres including fighting games, RPGs, simulations, and arcade ports like The King of Fighters 96, Street Fighter 02, Alpha 2, and Marvel Superheroes. Many highly anticipated titles are listed here, showcasing the busy release schedule for the console. The Game Gear section provides a much shorter list of upcoming titles, including Sonic, the Hedgehog Mini, and Puzzle Bobble. At the bottom, an editorial note discusses the state of game development, highlighting the passion of creators working on ambitious projects like RPGs. Despite the challenges of development cycles, it mentions anticipation for Final Fantasy V2 and expresses hope for similarly compelling RPGs on the Saturn. Finally, a small section announces the release date for the next issue of Saturn Fan Magazine. This page introduces Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 1. The Blue Destiny for the Sega Saturn. This is presented as New Media OGS, Original Game Story, a 3-volume series kicking off its launch in September 1996. It promises intense 3D action on the Saturn with a dramatic scenario set against the backdrop of the one-year war in Universal Century 0079. The game puts you in the cockpit, featuring visuals so immersive they're claimed to rival anime, with your performance directly impacting your in-game rank. You step into the role of Yu Kojima, an Earth Federation pilot joining the fight during pivotal operations like the Jaburo landing. The game emphasizes carving new memories in the brutal conflict of the one-year war.